Karlo with ESPN Los Angeles. Happy Monday, Dr. Beyer, and thanks again for joining us on the Road to Recovery presented by the Hoag Orthopedic Institute. We're having some fun because baseball is fun again. We got Shohei Ohtani dominating. We got Aaron Judge on the other side making history. Doc, it's home run day on the Road to
It,
Recovery.
it's 30 years after 1994 when the whole home run thing started, right at the beginning of the steroids era. And I guess those two are probably related a little bit, right? With McGuire and Sosa and Bonds. And now you got Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani and opposite leads. Clearly, you're looking at your two MVPs this year, right? Is there any doubt? They might as well cast their votes now. But it's really exciting. As those of you who've heard me before, I'm not the big home runs are the greatest thing for baseball, but they certainly are exciting. When something like this happens, it certainly is exciting. So let's just ride the wave because it's great for baseball right now.
I think, Doc, they're engraving their names already on the statues, on the trophies, and it's fine because we are not just witnessing great performances, we are witnessing historical performances. Doc, I was privileged to be there Saturday to witness what I was hoping was going to be 40-40 happening, and instead he decided to do it as a walk-off grand slam the night before, but at least I'm happy to see 41 with my own eyes as the ball landed 100 yards in front of me. But Shohei, man, it is incredible to watch in person.
And he threw off a mound a couple of days ago. He threw his first couple of pitches off a mound since his surgery almost 9 months ago, his surgery was. So he's certainly ahead of schedule in terms of his rehabilitation from the second Tommy John procedure. But as we both said before on the show, who knows how effective he's going to be or if he's going to come back to throwing. But after what we've seen the last couple of days, who cares?
Should he? Should he even be throwing off the mound at this point? I know Dodgers fans were excited to see that slow-mo clip. Interestingly enough, him putting on a Freddie Freeman shirt, throwing off the mound. Um, that's another layer to it. But to see Shohei throw off the mound just hours after making history, hitting 40-40, and now looking like he can clearly pursue even 50-50. But the Dodgers have made it clear he will not pitch at all this season. But to see him throw off the mound now makes you think, should he be throwing off the mound and continue to throw off the mound and pitch next season?
Well, clearly he's hitting the milestones that need to be hit in the recovery healing process from Tommy John surgery. That makes the training staff feel it was okay for him to throw a couple of pitches off the mound. That's number one. Second of all, I think that we might need to change his name to Showman Ohtani because he is becoming a real showman. I mean, he's enjoying it. He's relishing it, and nobody can tell me he doesn't understand English. He just understands it a lot better than he's letting us realize that he understands it. I mean, you can see his lips move in the dugout sometimes, and believe me, he's not talking Japanese. Okay. So he hits 40 and 41, a walk-off grand slam. He throws off the mound in the first week. If I were the Dodgers, I would, first of all, the good thing is the Dodgers don't have their division wrapped up. It's still a race. So you're going to see a lot of Shohei in September. They're not going to be resting him because they have the NL West locked up. They don't have it locked up. So that's a good thing for fans because they're going to be playing him a lot, which means the possibility of getting to 50-50 is very real. And how cool would that be? It's just really, as a baseball fan for my whole life, it just really, really makes you shiver a little bit that you're seeing somebody who really was like Babe Ruth. I mean, the only thing I knew about Babe Ruth was, do I have his trading card? I mean, this is really a phenomenon, and it's to be enjoyed. It's to be enjoyed. And if I were the Dodgers, I probably would teach him how to play first base and make him a full-time offensive player. None of this DH some games and then pitch a game and then don't do anything for 2 days. I would probably make him a full-time offensive player. His WAR would be higher if he's able to go back to pitching, but he's just a phenom at hitting. And let's mention Aaron Judge while we're talking here. I mean, here's a guy who's having a heck of a season too. on the other side in the other league. Um, he could easily break his own single season non-steroid record, and I'd love to see that too. I mean, he's a real talent. He's not quite as mature as Shohei is in terms of how he interacts with fans, especially little leaguers, but we'll let that slide if he hits 60 home runs, I guess. He's pretty phenomenal too. And the thing you don't realize, I saw a picture of him next to Caitlin Clark the other day. She was visiting Yankee Stadium. He is a beast. I mean, Caitlin Clark's not 5'2". She's a female basketball player. She's up there. She's got to be at least 6 feet, right? Maybe 6'2". He just looked like massive next to her. And, he's really proving it too. So even though a lot of pitchers are pitching around him and walking him on purpose, that's what the great home run hitters get used to. And he's able to pick out his pitches and hit him when he needs to. So he's at what now? 52, I think.
52, correct.
52. So he's only got to hit 11 or 12 more dingers to have his record broken.
I almost feel like by the end of this recording, he may have 54 already. But you mentioned Doc Babe Ruth. I think the Babe Ruth comparisons are gone now. I think Shohei's surpassed that. And then I saw another stat that Shohei's also the second player ever in baseball history to record 200 strikeouts in a season and 40 stolen bases in a season in his career. So he's just finding
There's,
every other player he could
there's
top.
so many records. There's so many records that this kid's going to break if he stays able to play, even if it's just as a 1 year player. He's just but I don't think the Babe Ruth comparisons are over because we might yet see him make that same decision that Babe Ruth made, which is that I'm not going to pitch anymore. I'm just going to be a hitter. And that still might occur. We don't know. So I think we're just going to have to see how it plays out. But even if he gives up on the pitching, we didn't get shortchanged.
Winning a World Series wouldn't hurt either.
No, it's so sad that he's going to get it and Mike Trout hasn't. We've been so cool to see him do this while he was an Angel and Trout was not injured, and the Angels were able to put together a team and do something special because that would have been really, really special. Speaking of Mike Trout, I mean, let's hope we see Mike Trout hitting again. I mean, apparently he's had his second knee surgery a couple weeks ago. It's being kept pretty hush hush because there was nothing about it in the press. What was done, where it was done, when it was done, who did it, what they found. So they're keeping this very, very tightly under wraps, which something as a physician I don't agree with. I think with regular patients you need to, but these guys are in the public eye, just like everybody else needs to know what's going on with the president of the United States. People deserve to know what's going on with their players who have been paid hundreds of millions of dollars. And all that happens when you're not transparent is you start conspiracy theories and people saying, what if, what if, what if, oh, it's really, really terrible, blah, blah, blah. The best cure for that is sunlight. You've got to at least keep the fans in the loop. There's so many fans who love Mike Trout. They deserve to know how their hero is doing. And hopefully that comes out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we all hate to speculate. That's really all that Angels fans can do when they're looking at their superstar. Meanwhile, Dodgers fans, they did also get a little scare. Shohei actually also got hit by a pitch this weekend. Did you have a little hit?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. 99% of the guys who get hit by a pitch shake it off and go on and continue playing. It wasn't like he got hit in the face or something like that, something really horrific. It's going to happen. It's part of baseball. I really don't think that sportsmanship considered and the respect that other players have for Shohei. It's not like he's a dirty player, a nasty player that the other players don't like. The other players really, really love him. They like him. And let's face it, they love the eyes that he's bringing onto baseball because they all thrive the more people are watching baseball. So I think that, it was not intentional. And fortunately, he was able to shake it off.
Can't imagine that there's anybody who's trying to intentionally hit him. But remember, it could be just one pitch that gets loose from a pitcher and can cause some damage. But fortunately, the test came back negative for Shohei, and we'll be able to see him pursue hopefully a 50-50. But Doc, before we wrap up the road to recovery, let's make it a prediction. Will Shohei Ohtani go 50-50?
I think yes, because I think you're going to see a lot of him in September. The weather is still warm, which is more amenable to hitting home runs. It's not a cold, rainy April, and um, and he likes stealing bases. He enjoys stealing bases. He likes showing off his athleticism. So I think that it will be a 50-50 season.
He's making it look so easy, so fun, and for the fans, it's even more fun as we get to watch history. Dr. Beyer, thanks a lot for joining us on the road to recovery. Go Shohei. I mean, at this point, good luck on going for 50-50. Let's root for history.
Absolutely correct. We all like being part of watching history. And while you're watching history, be sure to listen Doctor in the Dugout on AM 830 every Saturday at 12 noon. Don't miss it. We're going on even after baseball season is over. So we'll see you on AM 830 as well as here on the road to recovery.